Hey guys, just wanted to do a very quick video on what I believe, having spent a lot of years in frustration and jumping from one thing to the next and trying to figure out what my ideal life path was and what my ideal calling and career was. And I really want to just sort of speak this while it's crisp in my mind, because this is one of the things I think is very underspoken, if that's a word. It's not talked about nearly enough for it to really proliferate and to help enough people who are potentially struggling with trying to figure things out, like I know myself to struggle with a lot. But this is the thing. There are obviously many variables at play when it comes to accumulating and creating success in our lives. And obviously success is a subjective idea, but to create momentum and create movement, engagement, traction, an audience, all the things that so many of us are looking for, I think that one of the things that's stopping us the most, one of the biggest stumbling blocks and hurdles and diversions that take us away from our ability to accumulate, our ability to see success in one thing. And that is the thought that goes on in our minds that says, is there the right thing for me out there? There's got to be this thing, right, that I'm suited to, that is perfect for me. Is there the right thing? Is there a calling that is well suited to me? And I think a lot of people get caught up on this. I certainly did over and over again, and I still, to some extent, still do. I still find myself, I catch myself being diverted by things that come into my periphery, new projects, new technologies, new things, new ideas that come into my periphery. And at the moment, it's NFTs, being able to sell art, NFTs, and make lots of money in cryptos and blockchain. And my inner voice, there's one voice that says, maybe this is the thing that you should be doing, spending all your time doing, and not this other thing, not these videos, not this coaching. Maybe you should do this. And I found this throughout my life, that things divert us, and we allow ourselves to be diverted. We allow ourselves to chase the next shiny thing because we have this inkling inside of us that says, we got to find the right thing for us. And so there's always this thought, there's always a suggestion that maybe we're not quite right here. Maybe the fact that we've been doing this for a year and we're not really seeing the success that we expected, and it's hard and we're struggling and everyone else seems to be doing better than us, maybe actually that's an indication that we should stop and find the next thing, find the next more suitable thing. And of course, everything else that is vaguely interesting, vaguely more novel, is going to look like a better option for so many. And this is why so many people stop. And what we need to do, instead of constantly being diverted and constantly jumping from one thing to the next, thinking that there is that right thing, is to understand that it isn't about the right thing. It is about how much time and attention and focus you're bringing to any one thing. This is game-changing. This is huge. Few people get this. You need to understand the power of laser eye focus, vision, and time as well. Time spent with something. Time spent obsessing on something specific. The more things you spread yourself amongst, the less time, energy, focus you're going to bring to any one thing. And the one thing that success needs of you is that time, that compounded development, energy, focus, time spent, showing up every day, making little iterations to that thing and not being dragged to one side. So be wary of that voice that says, are you doing the right thing? Maybe this isn't the right thing for you. Everything in theory, depending on your strengths, your skills, your talents, is right for you. Whether you stay with it long enough and you focus on it long enough and you obsess on that one thing long enough, that's the thing that makes the difference. So I'm speaking to myself here because I find myself splitting myself between a lot of stuff, and it can be complicated, yes, in this modern age where everyone's telling you to be on all these different social media platforms, and you could view TikTok alone as a skill to master. That could be your path. So the way I see it is that you've got to be wary of the 80-20 rule, and it's probably more heavily skewed in like 95-5, whereby certain things in your life are going to support the main thing. So they're going to be certain things, whether it's Twitter or Facebook or doing videos like I'm doing here. These are all okay you could either view video as like the big thing, the 95% thing, or you could view it as a 5% thing in my case, which supports my other thing, which is coaching, helping, teaching. I'm obviously now I'm being drawn into NFTs and selling art, so that's going to have to fall into the 5 to 10% part of what I'm doing. But as long as there's this main bulk of something that you're bringing most of your attention, most of your time, most of your energy to, that is where you will see the big success. You got to maintain that focus and you got to stay with it. So that's the message today, is stay with the thing. Don't allow yourself to too easily be torn away from developing any real momentum and accumulation in any one thing. Yes, in the early stages, feel free to experiment more, I would say. Like if I was talking to my 18, 19-year-old self, I would say, try a lot of stuff in the beginning. That's great. Get a sense of what the field is like. Play the field, play around a bit. But then after a point, you want to start getting a little bit more adult about stuff, you know, playfully adult, and get into the idea that there is going to be something that's worth spending time on. And that's the thing that you want to really put everything into, and you'll really benefit from this over the long term. While everyone else is giving up and changing tracks and continually chasing that shiny object, you are going to be sticking with that thing. If you don't quit, you can't fail. Hope that made sense, guys. If you've got any thoughts and comments on this, do share them below. Do smash the like button, as is the hip, trendy thing to say on YouTube these days. Make sure you subscribe. See you in the next one.